Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Sports Talk and the Success Table. I greatly appreciate you tuning in. Today, we have another special guest. He is a South Alabama alumni and a present athlete with the school, Rickssen Opont. He's joining in right now with us. Thank you for tuning in to the show today, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not a subscriber yet, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get all our up-to-date content. Rickssen, how's it going, man? He's tuning in right now with us. By the way, the Celtics versus the Hornets last night, off the chain, going into overtime. And I was at the game last night. It's a blessing to see Mr. Jason Tatum go off. Rickssen, how's it going, sir? It's taking us a little while to get him on. Get him on the show. Wait 1 second, folks. Just for you guys tuning in to our show today, Rickssen is a hammer thrower in college. He's a track and field athlete. Man's 5'10". He's a beast. I see him all the time on Instagram. Trying to get Rickssen on the show with us. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Rickssen, how's it going, sir?
Oh, good. How are you?
Pretty good. It's a blessing to have you on with us.
It's an honor. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. No problem. Hey, I see you all the time on your Instagram, beasting it up.
Thanks, man. I'm just trying to be great. Nothing too crazy.
Hey, your hammer throws. What is the longest one that you've done so far in your career?
Officially, my official PR that I've done in competition is 60.25 meters. But those videos has recently been viral, been between like 65 and 70 meters. And my furthest is I put one over 70.
Holy moly, man.
So I've came a long way. I've made a lot of progress, and it's because still trying to perfect my technique. So a lot more in there to come.
I hear you,
So
man. Hey, does the shock put, does that help that process of hammer throwing?
oh no, it's something totally completely different. And the thing is, shot put has always been my main event. Um, but I just fell in love with the hammer throw. And it's funny because I actually started learning the technique to throw the hammer on YouTube back when I was at the St. Thomas Aquinas College, where I didn't have a coach, and I started learning on my own using YouTube and watching videos, practicing turns, and I went from throwing what 28 meters the first time I ever threw the hammer to being over 60 meters, which is something that doesn't happen without a lot of hard work, repetition, a lot of turns. So it took a lot of faith and hard work to actually make it this far, and I'm excited to see how far I can get with it.
I hear you, man. Hey, I'm gonna pitch you for playing football next.
That happened too, so you never know. You
I
never
hear
know.
you, man. Hey, growing up in Haiti, who were some of your role models besides your family that was around you?
Um, well, one of my biggest role models were my parents and still are. Seeing my mom and dad work so hard and sacrifice so much for me to be able to come to the US and get my education and just make something of myself has always inspired me to make them proud and to just be my best sense of self every day. Um, but anything outside of that, I would say I don't really know. I mean, I've had a lot of really good coaches and teachers. My ESL teacher in middle school really had a big impact on me because she always just believed that, that I could do it. And little by little, I started believing in myself too. So, and then one of my coaches from high school, his name's Jose St. Victor, who was my mentor and it still is, had a huge impact on me on becoming who I am today. So I'm truly blessed for those. And I've had many more teachers and coaches that continue to impact me and tell me that, I can do it all. I can conquer the world. If I just stay focused and keep working hard and keep believing. And sometimes that's all an athlete can ask for. So I'm truly blessed for those people that believe in me.
Definitely. So, getting into the hammer throw, how did you get involved with that section of track and field, man?
It's I'm To be honest, it's just because out of high school, I only threw shot put and discus. So hammer was something that when I got to college, I wanted to be a well-rounded thrower. I didn't want to just specify in one throw. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick up the hammer and the weight, and I didn't have anyone to teach me, so I just started watching other athletes, like I said, going on YouTube, and just started to mimic what other people is doing. It took a very long time. I know now it looks, like it's easy, but it took many, many fallings and bad throws. And, ultimately is when I came to South Alabama with under Paul Brewski, where he actually took interest in letting me try the hammer. Cause at first he hesitated too, because he was like, you're a shot putter. I don't know if you're going to have time. Um, Sorry about that.
You're fun.
I'm back. I'm back. So he was like, I don't know if you're gonna have enough time to learn and develop. And I was like, Coach, I'm telling you, I have a feeling that, if I just get the technique down, I can throw far. And, he took that shot on me and he believed and it just went from there. Because I came down to South Alabama with a PR of 44 meters, 44.26 meters. And I finished my senior season throwing 60 meters. And ultimately the biggest thing I learned is like it's not always about how good you are in a moment. It's not always about, what you lack. but it's what you do with what you do have. And I have great work ethic. I have a great mindset, and what I was missing was really just a great sense of leadership from a coaching standpoint, and him believing in me and coaching me, and sometimes that's all an athlete needs. They just need the right guidance, the right people in his corner to really believe that they can do something, and the rest will take care of itself.
Yes, sir. So you brought up Alabama. Life as an athlete there, what has been the best moment? If you had to pick a moment.
Oh man, I mean, just being a D1 athlete has been like a true blessing. Going from D2 Division 2 to D1 is something that doesn't happen often, and has always been a goal of mine. So I'm truly blessed with Paul Brewski and him taking a shot on me and believing that I could when other D1s didn't think I was good enough at the time to give me a scholarship. But he saw something in me, and he gave me a shot. But I would say the best experience is, coming in as a graduate student and being an upperclassman on a team and having that opportunity to really inspire the younger guys and show them that, they too are capable of being great and reaching greatness through hard work and dedication. But it's really just the family oriented. We were as a team. We were very close throws group, and our coaches really care about us. And we did a lot of cool team building activities, community service, and it was almost like a family away from home. All my family's back in New York, but being on the team, was a family within ourselves. So it was a true blessing to being part of something, as important as that. And being part of everybody was hungry to win championship, even though we placed second this past outdoor. But to watch everybody give their all and be on the same page to want to win so bad, it was truly a sight to see. And I was blessed to be up in part of the Jaguar history.
Definitely, man. So I don't know if a lot of people know your story, but not my audience. But you as an individual, Team Haiti, how have you prepared and produced at that level? How have you prepared to transition your time at South Alabama to that bigger audience of the Olympics?
Um, it all comes down to training. Training, focusing more on perfecting my technique and doing the things that's going to get me to throw further instead of relying on the result itself. I made the Haitian national team back in 2018, where then I was only throwing like 16 meters and like 40 something 47 meters in the discus. But it's also gave me a level of starting ground, like foundation. I wasn't always throwing far, and it's put a lot of things in perspective for me. It's like, wow, I've made it this far. I wonder how much more I have in me. So I'm just gonna keep working as hard as I can. Right now I'm getting ready for World Championships coming up next year, and training for Paris 2024. At this point, I got to the point where I truly believe that, nothing is impossible for me. And that as long as I keep focused and keep this mindset being positive and driven, that, all things are possible. And maybe I'll make the team, maybe I'll make the Olympics, maybe I won't. But, ultimately, you don't regret ever working hard and putting work into something and believe into something. Either way, I'm going to grow, but it's ultimately the process of getting there is really what matters. And I'm looking forward to whatever the outcome is. I'm excited to keep inspiring other people to, pursue their goals, no matter how big or small they are.
Definitely. So, what are some of your training habits and that you go through on a daily basis?
Man, training has been a very big part of my lifestyle lately, but it comes down to heavy lifting in the weight room, whether it's cleans, jerks, snatches, front squats, back squats, a lot of reps, a lot of volume, depending what cycle we're on. But when it comes to throwing, I'll take anywhere between 25 to 30 throws a day per event, depending which throws I'm throwing at the moment. But a lot of technique, a lot of drill work. It's really just pounding and hammering those repetitions so that my body is comfortable doing it naturally and it doesn't have to be forced. But it's come down to really just focusing on perfecting technique. Technique is most important to me right now because the strength is there, but once it all comes together, that's when the big throws will be there.
Definitely. So for my audience, where can they find you, man?
Yeah, you guys can find me on TikTok, on Instagram at Chasing Greatness with an 8 in there. I'm starting my YouTube channel. You can find me on there as well under Rickssen Opont. And yeah, I look forward to keeping inspiring you guys. And I have new merch out. The link is in my bio if anyone's interested in supporting that way. But ultimately, just know that nothing's impossible. All you got to do is want it bad enough, and keep chasing greatness, and best is yet to come.
Definitely. Hey, Rickssen, it's been a blessing to have you on our show, and we'd welcome you back for the next one. Hey, probably before Paris, before you hit up.
Hopefully.
Blessings,
Looking forward to it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You too.